Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 3 of our Introduction to React course. Today we'll dive into a very important topic, handling form inputs and managing form state. So in many web applications we need to handle user inputs. May this be in a sign-up form, in a contact form, registration, etc. These can come in various forms such as text inputs, checkboxes, radio buttons, dropdowns, and so on. And managing the state of these inputs is a crucial part of creating a smooth user experience. So we'll start by creating a simple form with one text input and a submit button. Let's create a new component called userform.js. So inside our components folder, we can go ahead and create that. So as we did with our previous component in the last lesson, we just have to import React and then the hook, which is use state from React. And then we can go ahead and create the component user form. And then we'll go ahead and use that React hook, the use state hook, one more time. User name set username use state, and then we'll go ahead and leave this blank as an empty string. Then we can go ahead and create a handle submit function that we'll use for our button. So we can go ahead and name it const handle submit equals event, and then we can go ahead and prevent the default form submission behavior. And so essentially how we do this is we type event dot prevent default. And this is a good practice when creating forms, so I recommend that you put it in all forms that you create. So you can go ahead and console log the state data. So you can put form like that. And so now that we have our handle submit function created, we can go ahead and create a return statement. And it will include the function call, a label, and name, input. We can set the type as text, the value to the username, and then we can go ahead and make it so that it calls our React hook. And so we'll go ahead and create the submit button too. And it looks like I accidentally console logged the wrong thing. I meant to put username. So now, as you see here, if we input a name, put Siddharth as my name, and we can simply open the console by going to inspect and clicking console. As you can see, it console logs my name. So this form demonstrates the basics of handling form input in React. We control the form's input values using React state and handle form submission with a function that has access to this state. Handling a single input state is pretty straightforward, but what if we have multiple inputs in our form? It can get pretty tedious to create a use state for each one, so in such cases we can use one use state variable as an object to hold all form values. So we can go ahead and update our user form component. So let's go ahead and update this use state hook. So how we're going to update this is essentially, instead of making it blank, that blank string, we're going to create brackets, and we're going to set the username to blank and the email to blank. And so essentially what we've done is we've created a state variable form as an object to hold multiple input values. So if we wanted more than just username and email, we could input age, birthday, many more types of inputs, and just put them all in here instead of creating multiple useState hooks. So we do not need to update our handle submit function for this, but we do need to create a new function that will be called whenever an input field changes. So we can go ahead and create a handle change event, and it will set the form. We're going to use the dot notation, and so we can essentially do event.target. Name is pointed towards event.target.value. So the name attribute of the input field that changed is used to determine which field to update. So as a consequence of what we just changed, we are going to want to modify this on change to handle change. And then we can go ahead and create another form input, and it'll be called email. So type text, value email, and change. We're gonna want to run that same handle change function. And so since we're not just handling the state of username, we can also change this to form and set form, and then we can also change this console log data to form. So it looks like I made a mistake in the values, so it should actually be form.email and form.username, since as you can see in the form hook, we're creating username and email. And we're gonna go ahead and want to create name like so. And now we can go ahead and put my name and as well as my email. And as you can see, it console logs both the name and the email. So that's it for lesson 3. We've covered handling form inputs, managing form state, and handling multiple inputs. For your challenge, try to create a form with more fields and implement a reset button to clear all fields. As always, the best way to learn is by doing. So see you in the next lesson, where we'll be exploring handling lists and keys in React.